If you're hearing this, it means Allah hasn't forgotten you. Not in your silence. Not in your delay. Not in that thing you cried about last night that no one knows but Him. You think nothing's happening right now, but in this exact silence, Allah is rewriting your strength into something even the angels weren't allowed to reveal early. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see your entire story. 1. Your thoughts are not failing you. Allah is clearing the poison. You've been feeling it more lately, haven't you? Like something is happening inside your mind, but you can't explain it. Your thoughts, they come faster than before. Memories you tried to forget keep resurfacing, as if your brain is trying to make you relive everything you wanted to bury. And you don't know why. You sit in silence, but your thoughts are screaming. You try to rest, but your mind keeps you awake. You're afraid to admit it out loud, but deep down you're scared. Am I losing control? Sometimes the thoughts don't even feel like yours. They come out of nowhere. Strange fears, dark doubts, painful flashbacks, even whispers that make you feel ashamed, even though you didn't choose them. And that's the part that hurts the most. Why am I thinking things I don't even believe? You start to believe there's something wrong with you. You carry this quiet guilt, this invisible shame, like your mind has betrayed you. But beloved soul, what you're going through isn't a breakdown. It's not proof that your mind is broken. It's not madness. It's not punishment. It's cleansing. It's divine rewiring. It's Allah, reaching deep into the center of your soul and pulling out everything that doesn't belong there anymore. You see, the human mind is like a garden, but not every plant in that garden was planted by you. Some of the thoughts in your head were seeded by pain you never healed from, by words people said when you were too young to protect yourself, by things Shaitan whispered when you were too tired to fight back, by trauma that rewrote the way you saw yourself. And now, Allah is removing those weeds. But if you've ever gardened, you'll know this. Weeds don't come out clean. They resist. They rip. They tear the soil when they're pulled. And sometimes, the pulling hurts more than the poison ever did. That's what you're feeling now. The sadness that comes in waves. The guilt that appears for no reason. The doubts that shake your iman. The questions you never used to ask. These aren't symptoms of failure. They're symptoms of healing. You are being emptied, so that Allah can refill you with what's pure, what's peaceful, what's divine. It's okay if your thoughts feel messy right now. It's okay if your mind feels noisy. Healing is not quiet. Cleansing is not gentle. But Allah is. He knows exactly where your pain hides. He knows what thoughts were forced into your head when you didn't have the strength to protect your soul. He knows the stories that still echo inside your memory, even though you've outgrown them. And now He's giving you a chance to let them go. You don't need to fix your mind by yourself. You don't need to pretend you're okay. You just need to sit with Allah in the silence and let Him do the surgery. Yes, it feels heavy. Yes, you'll cry without knowing why. Yes, you'll feel things from years ago that should be forgotten. But they're surfacing for a reason, because healing cannot happen until the wound is brought into the light. And Allah never brings something into the light except to clean it, honor it, and raise it to something better. So, if your mind is swirling tonight, if your thoughts feel out of control, if you're scared of what you're feeling, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and whisper, Ya Allah. I surrender my mind to you. Let him take the wheel. Let him show you that this storm inside your head is not a curse. It's a reset. It's a reboot. It's the soul asking for repair. It's Allah removing the noise so you can finally hear what was always true. You are not your thoughts. You are not your past. You are not broken. You are a soul being purified by the one who created your mind in the first place, and he knows exactly how to restore it. You will think clearly again. You will feel light again. You will smile without pretending. You will remember verses instead of pain. You will carry calm instead of shame. And one day, very soon, you will look back at this storm and realize it wasn't a storm. It was a cleaning, a sacred operation, a spiritual rewiring. So don't be afraid of your mind. Be gentle with it. Speak to it with love. Fill it with dhikr. Feed it Quran. And trust that Allah is not just watching from above. He's inside the storm with you, guiding, flushing, fixing, rebuilding. And when he's done, you won't just think differently. You'll see yourself through the eyes of the one who never stopped loving you through the noise. 2. While you sleep, your body is being reprogrammed for destiny. You're tired, not the kind of tired sleep can fix. It's deeper than that. It's a weight in your bones, a heaviness in your breath, a slow ache that never really leaves. Some nights, you lie down early, but wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all. Other nights, you sleep long hours, but your body still moves like it's dragging a mountain behind it. And you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I always this drained? Is it my fault I can't function like I used to? You blame your laziness. You hate your weakness. You even ask yourself if Allah is displeased with you, because surely this much exhaustion must be punishment. But here's the truth, no one told you. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. This isn't weakness. This is rewiring. This is divine rest. The kind of rest that doesn't just refresh your energy, it rewrites your strength from the inside out. Because your body isn't tired from doing nothing. It's tired from carrying years of emotional survival. From nights you couldn't cry but still endured. From days you smiled when your heart was breaking. From months, maybe years, of pretending to be okay, when no one even asked if you were. And now, finally, Allah is putting you to sleep, so He can work on what the world couldn't see. While you rest, He is speaking to your bones. While you rest, He is rebuilding the nerves that once shook with anxiety. While you rest, He is calming the heartbeat that lived in fear for too long. While you rest, He is laying new foundations in your body, stronger, deeper, quieter than ever before. This is not a nap. This is spiritual surgery. He is rewiring your nervous system, so you don't react in panic every time life tests you. He is resetting your muscles, so they hold strength instead of stored trauma. He is slowing your heart, so it no longer races with guilt and self-hate. He is changing the shape of your body's pain, so that one day soon, your body becomes a vessel of light, not just a container for sorrow. And here's something else. That heaviness in your legs, that's Him grounding you, so you don't run back to what broke you. That tightness in your chest, that's Him stretching your soul, so it can hold more peace than before. That lump in your throat when you pray, that's Him unblocking the pain you buried just to keep functioning. Your body has been faithful for years. It took hit after hit and still showed up for you. And now, Allah is rewarding it with recovery. But healing takes stillness. Healing takes time. Healing doesn't happen in public. So He puts you to sleep. He lets the world think you're being lazy, so He can quietly build a version of you they'll never be able to explain. They won't know what happened in the silence. They won't understand how someone so tired became someone so unstoppable. But you'll know. It happened in the nights when no one saw you, when Allah held you like a child and said, "You've done enough. Let me take over now." You didn't fail because your energy collapsed. Your energy collapsed because Allah didn't want you building your life on a foundation of burnout anymore. You're not here just to survive. You're being rebuilt to lead, to walk with dignity, to serve with patience, to love with wisdom, to rise without noise. That requires a different kind of strength, a quieter kind, a strength that doesn't beg for validation, but moves with conviction. And you can't fake that strength. It only comes through stillness, through surrender, through letting Allah do the work, when you've run out of ways to fix it yourself. So the next time your body feels too tired to move, don't curse it, don't rush it, don't hate it. Sit down, close your eyes, say, "Ya Rab, I trust you. I give you my body too. Let your healing be soft. Let your recovery be holy. Let your sleep be a sacred place, where angels witness the transformation happening inside you. Because one day, you'll wake up, not just from your sleep, but from your old self. You'll open your eyes and realize the pain is gone, the fear is quiet, the breath is easy, and the person you are finally fits the purpose you were born for. You'll stand up from sujood with a spine full of strength, a chest full of peace, and a body that knows. This strength came from Allah. This calm was built in silence. This version of me was always being written while I rested. So, rest, without guilt, without fear, because while you sleep, Allah is preparing the body that will carry the next chapter of your destiny. And when it's time to rise again, you will not rise as the tired soul who laid down. You will rise as the warrior Allah has been quietly shaping in the dark. 3. Your isolation is not a punishment. It's a sacred workshop. You've been feeling left out. You've noticed the silence. The people who used to be there aren't anymore. The conversations are shorter. The phone barely rings. The invitations stopped coming. The presence of other once a comfort now feels like a fading memory. And deep inside, a quiet voice keeps asking, "What did I do wrong? Why is Allah keeping everyone away from me?" You scroll through your contacts but don't feel close to anyone. You sit in a room full of people and still feel alone. Even when you smile, there's a part of you that no one sees. The part that aches quietly, the part that no longer knows how to connect. And in the middle of that silence, you start to think, maybe this is a punishment. Maybe Allah has pushed me away from the world because I've failed Him. But beloved soul, please hear this. This is not punishment. This is protection. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. This is not distance. This is a divine workspace where Allah is crafting something sacred inside you. He has pulled you away because the noise around you was too loud for you to hear His whispers, the opinions, the expectations, the false love, the shallow praise, the invisible pressure to always be okay. They were suffocating your soul. And so, he took you out of the crowd, not to break you, but to build you quietly, in a place where no eyes can see, no hands can interfere, no voices can interrupt. Your isolation is Allah's workshop, a secret chamber, a sacred forge, where souls are melted down so they can rise again, not as fragile glass, but as unbreakable steel. You're not being left behind. You're being held back for a higher release, because the next version of you cannot be built in front of the same people who once clapped for your brokenness. Allah doesn't allow His finest work to be displayed in places where it will be misunderstood. So He hides you, He covers you, He makes you invisible, while He rewrites every part of you. He gives you time alone, so you'll stop seeking others to fill what only He can complete. He silences the world, so you'll finally hear your own voice beneath the echoes of everyone else's. He empties your schedule so He can fill your heart. He removes your distractions so you'll notice your direction. He takes away the noise so you'll remember what peace sounds like. And slowly, in the hidden hours, in the quiet tears, in the long sujood that no one sees, a transformation begins. You start to feel a strength you didn't know was inside you. You begin to sit with your pain and not fear it. You begin to speak to Allah like a friend. You begin to learn the beauty of your own company. You begin to understand that solitude is not loneliness. It is intimacy with the one who never leaves. People may not see it, but the angels do. They see the way you still show up to pray, even when you feel empty. They see the way you whisper dua through tears no one else knows about. They see the way you carry your soul like a wounded bird, waiting for the sky again. And Allah, He sees the masterpiece taking shape in your hidden season. He sees the heart that was once shattered, becoming softer, stronger, more attached to Him than it ever was before. And that's why He's not rushing your return to the crowd, because you're not ready to be seen until your soul is fully dressed in what He's preparing for you. You were never meant to be like everyone else. That's why you don't feel comfortable in places that others seem to belong. You were created to walk a quieter road, a road that begins in stillness and ends in divine impact. So don't rush this isolation. Don't beg for the doors to reopen. Don't try to force friendships that Allah gently ended. Instead, look around you. This quiet, this stillness, this absence, it's holy ground. You're not in a waiting room. You're in a workshop, the kind where prophets were prepared, where patience was shaped, where identities were rewritten. Even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu wasallam, before he received revelation, was pulled into the cave of Hira, alone, surrounded by silence. No crowd, no followers, just him and his Rab, because that's how greatness begins, not with applause, but with isolation. So if you feel forgotten, remember, you are not forgotten. You are being remembered by Allah in a way the world cannot understand. You are being guarded, so your softness can be sharpened. You are being refined, so your message can carry weight. You are being hidden, so your reappearance shocks even those who left you behind. This isolation is where your story rewrites itself, one tear at a time, one silent dua at a time. one whispered Quranic verse at a time. And when the time is right, when the soul is stable, when the mind is clear, when the light inside you no longer flickers, Allah will reopen every door you once cried outside, but you will no longer walk through them as someone who needs to be seen. You will walk through them as someone who carries the unseen, because your silence made you powerful, your solitude made you wise, and your isolation made you God's secret weapon. So stay here just a little longer. Let him finish what he started. And when he says, now, your reappearance will not be small. It will be sacred and undeniable. 4. Spiritual fatigue is proof your soul is upgrading in the background. You wake up, but it feels like you never really slept. You pray, but the peace doesn't hit your heart like it used to. You read Quran, but the verses feel quiet. You say, Alhamdulillah, but your chest still feels heavy. And the worst part? You don't know why. There was a time when your faith felt alive. You used to cry in sujood. You used to feel goosebumps during ayat. You used to smile just knowing Allah was watching. But now it feels distant. Now the dua feels dry. Now the sajda feels silent. And you look at yourself and wonder, what happened to me? Why do I feel so disconnected from my Rabb? Did I lose my iman? You try harder. You fast extra. You wake up for tahajjud. You push through fatigue just to feel something again. But even then, your soul still feels tired. Like it's moving through water. Like it's struggling to wake up. And you start to believe that maybe you've failed spiritually. That maybe Allah has turned away. That maybe your heart is too far gone. But beloved, what you're feeling right now is not failure. It's not distance. It's not disconnection. It's a divine upgrade happening in the background. Your soul is under reconstruction. And like any major update, it slows down before it restarts stronger. You see, when the body breaks, it sends pain. When the soul upgrades, it sends fatigue. Spiritual fatigue doesn't always come from sin. Sometimes it comes from deep growth. A growth that isn't loud. A growth that happens in the unseen. Right now, Allah is expanding your soul to hold more truth. He's deepening your heart to hold more compassion. He's calming your mind to reflect more wisdom. He's stretching your patience, widening your humility, and softening your ego. And all of that takes energy, more than people see, more than you expected. You are not being punished. You are being refined. And that refinement, just like with gold, requires heat, stillness, and time. So don't mistake this phase as Allah leaving you. He's closer to you now than he's ever been before. The one who's distant isn't Allah. It's your old self, the one being peeled away, so the real you can rise. And yes, that peeling hurts. Yes, that transition is heavy. Yes, it feels like something is being lost. But that's because something is being lost. Something that was never truly part of you. The need for constant emotional highs. The dependence on outward feelings. The false sense that spirituality has to feel good all the time. That's not iman. That's dopamine. And Allah is taking you beyond it. He's teaching you that real iman doesn't depend on your emotions. It depends on your return, even when you feel nothing, even when your heart is quiet, even when your limbs are heavy. If you still come back, still pray, still whisper dua through your tired soul, then you've already won, because that is not weak faith. That is mature faith. That is unshakable faith. That is the kind of faith that angels write down with trembling hands. The kind of faith that doesn't need a crowd. The kind that was forged in the silent battles only Allah knows about. So if you feel spiritually tired right now, take a deep breath. You are not falling. You are transitioning. You are evolving. You are being upgraded from emotional iman to eternal iman, from needing signs to trusting silence, from craving feelings to surrendering to facts. Allah is always with you, even when you don't feel Him. Especially then, think of your soul like a seed. When it grows underground, no one sees it. No one praises it. No one claps for it. But one day, it breaks through the soil with strength no one expected because of the darkness it endured. That's what you are right now, a soul breaking through the dirt, slowly, quietly, faithfully. And when you finally rise again, you won't need spiritual highs to carry you, because you'll be rooted in yaqeen, unshaken by feelings, unmoved by silence. You'll pray because He deserves it. You'll return because He's worthy. You'll stay because your soul knows Allah has always been enough. So, be gentle with yourself. Don't shame your fatigue. Honor it. It means your soul is working hard, behind the scenes. It means you're healing from what you can't name. It means your Rab is removing the weight you never knew you were carrying. It means your journey isn't over. It's entering a higher level. And when this phase is complete, you will not return to the way you were. You will return stronger, deeper, calmer, more connected than ever before. You will rise, not with excitement, but with peace. And peace is the truest sign that your upgrade is complete. 5. Allah is not delaying you. He's weaponizing you with clarity. You keep wondering, why is everything still on hold? Why hasn't my dua been answered yet? Why do I keep waiting while others move forward? Why does my turn never come? You've tried. You've cried. You've begged Allah at night. You've fasted. You've prayed when your limbs were too tired to move. You've whispered dubra until your lips trembled. You've believed with all your heart. And still, the door hasn't opened. And somewhere deep down, a dangerous thought begins to form. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe Allah doesn't want to give it to me. But let me stop you right there. This is not rejection. This is preparation. This isn't delay. It's divine design. Allah is not ignoring you. He is sharpening you. Sharpening your heart. Sharpening your thinking. Sharpening your eyes to finally see truth from illusion. Because what you asked for comes with a weight, a responsibility, a spiritual cost. And if Allah gave it to you right now, in your current state, you might carry it with your emotions. You might react instead of lead. You might misunderstand what it means. So Allah waits, not to punish you, but to weaponize you. He's not just writing your breakthrough. He's writing you to be worthy of it. You see, clarity doesn't come by chance. Clarity comes by fire. It comes when Allah burns away the false things you believed, the people you depended on more than Him, the goals you chased that were rooted in fear, not faith, the dreams you wanted but weren't ready for. Clarity comes through pain. It comes through heartbreak. It comes through failure, not to destroy you, but to reveal what your eyes could never see on their own. Right now, you are in the waiting room of clarity, and it's not a soft place. It's a place where Allah takes the blindfold off your soul, where illusions melt away, where your ego dies quietly, and where you begin to see this isn't a delay, this is an awakening. Because, let's be honest, if Allah gave you that thing you're praying for right now, that job, that spouse, that success, would you truly know how to hold it? Would you know how to protect it? Would you know how to lead with it? Or would it lead you? Allah knows the answer, and that's why He waits, because He would rather hold your blessing back than give it to a version of you that hasn't been purified yet. He knows you're worthy, but He wants you to see it too, and for that, He has to clear the fog of self-doubt, the fog of haste, the fog of your need to prove something to the world. So He isolates you. He pauses everything. He locks every door you try to open, not because the door is broken, but because you're not meant to walk through it yet. You're not supposed to be fast. You're supposed to be sharp. You're supposed to be clear. And clarity takes time. It takes falling down. It takes learning who you're not before you can walk as who you are. And if you're honest with yourself, this delay has already taught you so much. You've learned to depend only on Allah. You've learned how to stand alone with dignity. You've learned how to feel disappointment and still say, Alhamdulillah. That is not small growth. That is not wasted time. That is sacred work. You are not being delayed. You are being forged, like a sword in fire, held longer in the flames, not because it's weak, but because it's being made for battle. And when the time comes, when Allah says, now, you will walk through that door as someone who doesn't just receive blessings, but someone who can carry them with clarity, with calm, with tawakkul, with leadership, with light. And when people ask, why you? Why now? You'll smile quietly, because only you know the hours you spent alone in sujood, asking for nothing but Allah's timing. You'll remember the nights you begged for an answer and got silence instead. But it wasn't silence. It was strategy. It was Allah rearranging everything around you so that when your rise came, no one could take credit for it, except Him. So be patient, not with life, but with the process. Don't count the days. Don't measure your journey by who's ahead of you. Measure it by who you're becoming. Because the version of you that's coming, the version you haven't even met yet, will walk into blessings so heavy, you'll finally understand why Allah made you wait. So keep walking, even when it's slow, even when it's quiet, even when you don't know where it's going. Because every step forward right now is not toward the life you planned, but toward the purpose you were created for. And when clarity comes, you'll thank Allah for every delay, every silence, every not yet, because you'll see it clearly then. Allah wasn't holding you back. He was aligning everything, including you. 6. The mind is the first sword Allah sharpens before He sends you to the field. You keep asking Allah to use you, to show you your purpose, to open the doors of impact, to place you in positions of value and meaning. You want to serve. You want to lead. You want to carry something greater than yourself. And yet, nothing is moving. The battlefield is silent. No mission has been assigned. No opportunity seems to stick. You sit there, in your room, wondering what went wrong, You've been through pain. You've survived heartbreak. You've watched people walk away. You've been broken and stitched back together. So why is the mission still paused? Because Allah doesn't send anyone to the field without sharpening their first weapon, and your mind. That is the first blade. Before your hands can build anything, before your words can guide anyone, before your footsteps can carry weight, your mind must be ready, clean, focused, aligned. You don't go to battle with a rusted sword. You don't carry the truth with a cloudy lens. You don't rise in this world until your thoughts have been sharpened by the very one who wrote your story. That's why this season feels heavy. It's not that you're not ready emotionally. It's that your mind is still being forged. It's not just about learning. It's about unlearning too. Allah is unlearning your fears, unlearning your self-doubt, unlearning the beliefs you were taught by people who didn't understand your destiny. He's taking apart your mental wiring, not to break you, but to rebuild it in his rhythm. Because when the battlefield opens, you won't have time to question your worth. You won't have space to carry hesitation. You won't be able to pause and ask, "Can I do this?" You'll need a mind that responds with clarity, a mind that moves with obedience, a mind that says, "Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel," without delay, without fear. And right now, that's what he's preparing in you. The confusion you're feeling, that's Allah melting away old thoughts. The silence you're walking through, that's where the sharpening happens. The inner tension, the overthinking, the mental exhaustion, that's the grinding of the blade. It's not meant to be easy. It's not meant to be quiet, because the mind you had was never meant to carry what Allah is about to place in your life. You asked him to make you strong, but strength begins in the unseen. You asked him to make you a guide, but clarity must come first. You asked him for impact, but he will not let you influence others, while your own mind still carries wounds. So he heals you, then he hones you, and only then does he send you. Just look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before he was sent with the message, he was sent into silence, into the cave, into retreat, into nights alone with Allah, because the mission required a messenger whose mind was free from the world's noise, whose thoughts were aligned with heaven, whose heart could carry revelation without bending to public pressure. And if Allah did that with his most beloved, what makes you think he won't do the same with you? So stop rushing the assignment. Stop demanding the battlefield. When your sword is still in the fire, let him finish. Let him carve away the doubt. Let him temper your emotions. Let him rebuild your thinking. Because you don't just need a good heart. You need a trained mind. A mind that doesn't panic under pressure. A mind that doesn't seek validation. A mind that doesn't fight out of ego, but moves with mercy, justice, and silence. And right now, your mind is still in the forge. That's why you feel foggy. That's why you feel mentally tired. That's why you're questioning things you used to be sure about. Because he's wiping the slate clean. He's deleting mental files that no longer serve your soul. He's closing apps you left running in the background for too long. He's upgrading your spiritual operating system, and you can't multitask during a full reset. So, stop trying to think your way out of this. Stop trying to skip ahead. You're not behind. You're in divine alignment. And when your mind is finally clear, when your thoughts obey your purpose, when your emotions submit to your wisdom, when your clarity is louder than your fear, Allah will point to your battlefield. and say, "Now," and you will rise. Not with noise, but with presence. You'll walk into rooms without announcing yourself, and hearts will shift, because minds sharpened by Allah carry weight without speaking a word. So breathe. You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are being sharpened in secret, so that when your moment comes, you won't miss. You won't tremble. You won't flinch. You'll strike with words that heal, with silence that protects, with presence that guides, with thoughts that lead. Because the mind that was once your weakness will become your sharpest sword. And that sword will not be for everyone. It will be for the field Allah handpicked for you, the people He chose for you, the mission only you were written to complete. So trust the grind, trust the silence, trust the sharpening, because very soon you won't just think differently. You'll walk differently. You'll speak differently. You'll lead differently. Because you won't just carry a message. You'll become one. 7. Your painful memories are being rewritten as sacred wisdom. You didn't choose those memories. You didn't ask to be hurt. You didn't plan for the betrayal, or the loss, or the humiliation, or the rejection that still echoes, like a voice you can't mute inside your chest. You didn't ask for the wound, but here you are, still carrying it, still bleeding quietly, even when no one sees the cut. You walk into new moments, but they feel haunted by the old ones. A smell, a word, a place, and suddenly you're back in the memory, back in the pain, back in the version of you that couldn't breathe through it. And you wonder, will I ever be free from this? Will I always carry this pain? Did this chapter ruin me forever? No, it didn't ruin you. It rewrote you, but not in the way you think. Because the story isn't over. The page hasn't closed. Allah didn't leave you in that scene. He didn't let that wound define your ending. He's still writing. And right now, He's taking the same memories that once made you cry and turning them into verses that will one day make you wise. Because you see, Allah never lets pain go to waste. Not even the smallest drop. That heartbreak, He's using it to soften your voice when others open up. That loss, He's using it to teach you what real love looks like. That betrayal, He's using it to guide you toward deeper loyalty. That moment you were left alone, He's using it to make sure you never leave someone else behind. You think you're broken, but in reality, you're being translated. Pain is being converted into perspective, tears into tenderness, silence into strength, and memories into meaning. This is not trauma repeating. This is wisdom rebuilding. The version of you that remembers what happened isn't the same version that experienced it. You're stronger now, wiser now, closer to Allah now. So when the memory returns, it's not here to haunt you. It's here to teach you. It's here to show you what you survived. It's here to reveal how much you've healed. It's here to whisper, look how far you've come. Yes, it still stings, but even the sting is a sign that your heart is alive, still beating, still able to feel, still connected to the one who counted every tear and stored it as evidence of your growth. Because the Quran says, "And we will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss, but give good news to the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:155. And you are the patient. You sat with your pain when you wanted to run. You kept making wudu when your heart was heavy. You whispered, Ya Rab, when your voice cracked. You stayed when everything inside you screamed to give up. That is sacred. That is written. That is recorded in a way no one else will ever fully understand. But Allah does. And now, He's slowly turning those same painful memories into a treasure chest of hidden wisdom. So one day, when someone else is breaking, you'll be able to guide them, not with empty words, but with real empathy. Because you've walked through the fire, and you remember what it feels like to think no one sees your pain. One day, you'll meet someone who's walking the same path you cried on, and you'll speak, not from pride, but from peace. You'll say, I've been there, and I know it hurts, but I promise you will rise again, because I did, and Allah never wastes pain. Your memories will become your message. Your sorrow will become your strength. Your story will become someone else's hope, because the most powerful guidance comes from the ones who survived, not in theory, but in reality. And you are a survivor. You are a testimony. You are proof that pain doesn't end you. It educates you. It reveals parts of you that joy could never show. Think about it. If you were never heartbroken, would you have turned to Allah as deeply as you did? If you were never disappointed by people, would you have understood what tawakkul really means? If life had always gone to plan, would you ever have surrendered? Sometimes it takes pain to wake up the parts of the soul that comfort kept asleep. That's not cruelty. That's mercy in disguise. So don't be afraid of your memories. Don't resent the ones that still bring tears. Instead, bring them to Allah. Say, Ya Rab, I still remember this. Please show me what it was for. And watch how, over time, the image that once crushed you becomes a source of calm. Because now you'll see it differently. Not as something that broke you, but as something that built you into a person who sees through illusion, who hears with more heart, who loves with more caution, and who walks with more humility. This is how Allah works. He rewrites your pain, but He doesn't erase it. He turns it into a verse, a reminder, a personal wisdom that no book could teach you, no lecture could offer you, because it came from the battlefield of your own heart. So tonight, when the memories come back, don't push them away. Sit with them. Welcome them. Let them speak. Then gently whisper, I remember, but I also remember how Allah pulled me through. And that's how you reclaim it. That's how you heal it. That's how your past becomes holy. Not by forgetting it, but by giving it back to Allah and saying, use it, Ya Rab. Use it to guide me. Use it to help someone else. Use it to turn my story into light. Because your memory is not your weakness. It's your legacy. 8. In deafening silence, Allah paints strength the world has no color for. The silence is loud tonight. Louder than the noise of people. Louder than the thoughts in your head. Louder than any storm you've survived. It surrounds you like a thick fog. Like the world has dimmed its lights, closed its doors, and left you with nothing but breath and Allah. And you don't know why. You keep showing up. You keep praying. You keep doing your best. But there's no answer. No breakthrough. No clear sign that things are moving. It's just silence. You check your phone, but it doesn't ring. You make dua, but nothing changes. You sit in sujood, waiting for tears, but your eyes are dry, and something inside you begins to whisper, maybe I've been forgotten. Maybe Allah isn't listening anymore. But that voice is wrong. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. You are in the studio of the divine. And the silence you feel right now is where Allah paints the kind of strength the world has no language for. You see, people think power is loud. They think strength means speaking up, moving fast, being seen. But the greatest strength is built quietly, not in crowds, but in caves, not in applause, but in isolation, not in noise, but in the deafening silence only Allah can fill, just like a seed, buried deep in the dark. The moment it begins to grow, the world above sees nothing, but inside there's a war. The seed cracks, the shell breaks, the roots fight through earth and rock just to find light. It's painful, it's hidden, but it's necessary, because if you rush the seed, you ruin the roots. And without roots, it will never stand tall in the wind. That's what Allah is doing with you. He's grounding you, He's rooting you, He's pulling you away from distractions, so He can build a strength inside you that doesn't shake when the world does. But it takes silence to hear Him, and silence hurts when you're used to noise. When the world taught you to run to people, when society made you believe that constant movement equals progress, when your own heart began to fear stillness because it reminded you of being alone. But Allah doesn't build like the world builds. The world builds on noise. Allah builds in stillness. The world rushes. Allah refines. The world uses bright colors. Allah begins with deep shadows. And you, right now, are in that shadow, the place where no one sees your transformation, where no one claps for your discipline, where no one knows you're fighting to stay hopeful, where no one notices. You still pray, even when your heart is tired. But Allah sees it all. He sees how you're trying. He sees how you keep whispering His name, even when you feel numb. He sees how you walk through each day, holding on to faith, with nothing but invisible thread. And in this silence, He is doing what no one else can. He is building a strength in you that is rooted in Him alone. A strength that doesn't depend on emotion. A strength that doesn't disappear when people walk away. A strength that doesn't crumble when plans fall apart. This kind of strength is holy. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not explosive. It's quiet. But it carries weight. The kind of weight that can hold families. That can carry truth. That can walk through fire and come out glowing because it was forged in silence, sanctified in sujood, sharpened by waiting, watered by every tear. That didn't fall because your soul had learned to cry inward to Allah alone. You're not behind. You're being built. You're not stuck. You're being held still, so the foundation doesn't crack. You're not being punished. You're being prepared for something only silence can create. Look at the prophets. Musa alayhi salam was silenced in the desert before he spoke to Pharaoh. Yusuf alayhi salam was forgotten in a prison before he ruled with mercy. Maryam alayha salam was isolated with no one to defend her before she gave birth to a miracle. And the Prophet sallallahu wasallam, his silence in the cave of Gira, was the opening chapter of a story that would change the world. So if you feel hidden, it's because you are hidden with Allah, not buried, but planted, not ignored, but protected, not paused, but purified. So let the silence speak. Let it strip away what you don't need. Let it teach you to breathe again. This is your cave, your ground zero, your sacred preparation zone. One day, when the noise returns, when the crowd claps, when the mission begins, you'll carry a strength so deep, so divine, so rooted in your connection with Allah, that nothing in this world will be able to shake you, because your strength won't come from what people see. It will come from what only Allah saw, what He built, in silence, in sujood, in surrender. So tonight, if the silence is loud, let it be loud, because even in this silence, Allah is painting you. He is scripting a story. No one will be able to explain, except the one who lived it. And that's you. So stay soft, stay steady. Let Him finish, because very soon, when the world sees you rise, they won't understand where you came from. But you'll know you came from a silence that only Allah could hear. So now you know. This silence you're living in isn't empty. It's sacred. It's where Allah rewires what the world tried to ruin. It's where He sharpens the mind, strengthens the body, and removes everything that would have slowed your rise. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not forgotten. You're in the middle of a divine operation. And operations are always done in stillness, away from crowds, under gentle, unseen hands. So if all you feel right now is silence, don't run from it. Don't curse it. Just whisper, Ya Rab, I trust you. Even when I don't hear you, I know you're working. Because very soon, when the world finally sees you rise, they won't understand how you made it through, but you'll know. You didn't rise on your own. You rose on the strength Allah planted in you, while no one was watching. So rest now, warrior in the making. The battlefield is waiting, but your mind, your first weapon, is almost ready. And when He sends you, you will not be the same.